CBS News Justice and Homeland Security correspondent Jeff Pegues joins us now from Washington. Jeff, what exactly is the information that authorities are able to get from his girlfriend? Have we heard anything?
Well, there were some comments during her interview a couple of days ago with law enforcement where she referred to his mental health. And so that is the kind of information that investigators are really intent on getting at this point. They're trying to put together a more complete picture of his medical history, his mental health specifically. And you talked, Rena, about investigators trying to reach out to people who know him. The reality is, or knew him, the reality is a lot of people didn't really know him in recent years, and that's why the girlfriend is so key in this investigation. She was obviously close to him. She was obviously living in that home when he was gathering this stockpile of weapons there, and that's why she still remains a key figure in this investigation. They interviewed her for 4 hours. From what we're hearing from our law enforcement sources, they want to bring her back in at some point. But right now, what they're trying to do is corroborate what she told them in that interview.
And so strange, Jeff. There is no shooter note left behind, no clues, not a large digital footprint, really. How do investigators believe they'll be able to get the why out of the girlfriend?
Well, they certainly hope to. And that's why, as I said, she is so key to this. But beyond that, you sort of put the pieces of the puzzle together around her. And then you go back to asking her questions about their relationship, about his behavior. But they can put together this puzzle. It's not going to be easy, obviously, and we're seeing that now in day 5 as they try to figure out the motive here. But there are ways for investigators to put this together. They have cell phones, they have computers, they have people who live near them, they have her account, at least some of it. They obviously want more, and they're trying to corroborate details of what she said. But they can put some of this together. And then, of course, they're going around and following some of these gun purchases that he made in the last year of his life, where he really seemed to be gearing up and putting together some small arsenal of weapons. And so if you put some of the pieces together, all of the pieces together, it paints a picture. They aren't there yet. They aren't at the point where they have the motive here, but they're getting closer, that's for sure, as they gather more information.
Do we know anything more, Jeff, about the days and the months leading up to the shooting?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just he was going to these gun stores in different states and loading up on weapons. I've talked to sources who say that he had in excess of $50,000 worth of weapons, and it's probably closer to $100,000 worth of weapons. And so he was really gearing up for something. Now, the big question, and we've been talking about this for at least the last 24 hours, is what was it that happened between October of 2016 and the weeks before the shooting? What happened in his life that pushed him to carry out this act? And was it something that he was preparing for over that year-long period? Or was he just, someone accumulating a lot of weapons, but didn't really have a plan in mind, wasn't planning anything nefarious, but then something happened that pushed him to carry out this horrific act? And so that's where investigators are right now. They're puzzled by a lot of things in this. For example, why this fixation on his part around these large concert events, these large crowds. That's still a puzzle for investigators, but so much is still left for them to do.
All right, our Jeff Pegues coming to us from Washington. Jeff, thank you.
My pleasure.